I was driving. A boy of 8-year-old was in the car between Hyderabad and Bangalore. Overnight journey. And this boy was observing things on the road. He left a Telugu speaking state. He was there for about a week, so he was accustomed to Telugu language, and the signboards were in Telugu language. The signages on the road had Telugu scripts, and many things that identifies very strongly with an Hyderabadi culture, Hyderabadi tradition, Hyderabadi architecture, Hyderabadi lifestyle, work style. Also was a moon. He looked up and saw a moon right above his head of a specific size. This is his observation. It registered, it reinforced within him that this moon is of a specific size. 8-year-old boy, and right above his head. He attributed subconsciously that this moon also is part of Hyderabad, and then began our journey. Through the journey, he slowly was transitioning, was moving through changes in culture, changes in language. He's arriving in another city where Kannada is a local language, and there were a lot of changes. But this is about 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. while we entered Bangalore, and the boy woke up and he did see the changes as it was happening through changing from Hyderabad city to Bangalore city, and suddenly, spontaneously, a wonder happened, and he just said, "Hey, they have a moon here as well." And I was cautioned. I just felt, what are you talking about? Because he knew the state has changed, the city has changed, but here he found a moon which is almost straight to his eye level. It is no more up above as he saw it in Hyderabad, because it's now about 3 a.m. and then it was larger in size. So obviously his picture of moon is different from what he saw in Bangalore. Though it was the same moon, but suddenly he spontaneously remarked with wonder, with excitement, "Hey, they have a moon here as well." It took me a while to educate him that it is the same moon that you saw in Hyderabad. Because from his perspective, everything he identified with the previous day as in Hyderabad has all changed. So you can't blame him. You can't blame him for that wonder. This is a metaphor. This is an illustration of perhaps how we also reinforced, or how we started to think that things are separate. We have an experience that things are separate. You are separate from me. I may experience that you are listening to me and I am talking to you, and perhaps you are of a different orientation of language, culture, tradition, food habit, work styles, and I am of a different orientation. So there is enough for us to focus on the separateness between you and me. But then where are the commonalities? So how would that boy will ever know that the moon is one, whether it's in Bangalore or in Hyderabad? Or how did you know about it? Really, if you honestly recall or recollect your youth, you will find that somebody taught you. You have not discovered that the moon was one. You have not discovered that it has only one moon. Somebody has taught you. Who taught you? So today our knowledge that the moon is one and not different in different states, our knowledge that it is the same moon has been taught to us. Did we have the bandwidth? Did we have the IQ to discover it ourselves? Did we do enough research to discover it ourselves? Were our mind so sharp that we had a passion to discover? Were we curious to research about the moon? Perhaps not. So somebody taught us. Now that is the relevance of a guru. That is the relevance of a mentor who educates us on certain things when we are not so sharp as to do research. So in the creation, there is a focus on the separateness. At the same time, there is also commonality existing together with the separateness. So the perception has to be changed from focus on separateness to focus on commonalities. For example, a lotus and a rose. They are both flowers, but they are separate. They have different sizes, but they both got fragrance, so there's some commonality. They both got petals, so there's a commonality. Whereas one grows on the shore, the other is in the water. So there are separateness. So where do we focus? So as a human being, our focus is reinforced. Our focus is trained to look at the separateness. A guru is one who synthesizes us. He gives us a different perspective of things. That our perception becomes that we are of one creation, that we share a common planet, that we have the grief in somebody is equal to the grief in another person. The joy in somebody is equal to the joy in another person. The hunger is the same, not only to human species, but to all the animal species. There is a hunger. So there are a lot of commonalities, but because our reinforced education is that everything is separate, because we are in a mode of scrutiny, analysis, assessment, that things are really, really separate. We need a guru, a guide to educate us that how to transform ourselves, how to transform from this trained mentality of separateness to a retrain, to reinvent, to reorient us, to relearn that more than separateness, there are things that are common to all of us. That my happiness is very much dependent on your happiness too, and your grief can also impact my state of mind, that I could also share your grief, and then we can care for each other. And this synthesis of mindset, this change in perception, can be brought about only if we have a guru to educate us. Just like how we needed a teacher to educate us that the moon is the same from wherever you look at it.